Good day, viewers. You are welcome back to Tindanious Maths and Science tutorials. If you are new here, kindly visit my previous lecture videos on conditional permutations. Viewers, I'm pleading, okay? I'm arranging the videos chronologically. So if you straight away watch this video, you may not appreciate where the logic or the concept is coming from. So we said conditional permutations type 3 has to do with you arranging two particular objects at the ends of arrangement, considering n number of different objects, taking all at a time. So therefore, n equals r, or n becomes what? R eventually. So if you are new here, kindly visit my videos on them and you are going to appreciate where those parameters, where those variables are coming from. We don't memorize, we don't chew and pour, we don't do root learning. We have to understand what is happening in reality. So let us apply conditional permutations type 3 to questions of this nature, okay? 7 students are to be seated on a bench. If 2 particular students are to occupy the ends, in how many ways can this be done? That is one practical usage of permutations in real life setting, okay? So never criticize mathematics. Don't learn this topic and say, what are we going to use permutations for? Okay? When I'm done considering entirely or extensively on permutations, I will tell you the practical applications of permutations, and we are going to figure out the magic over there, what permutation can do on this planet Earth, okay? So for now, let's consider questions, okay? So we need to look out for the total number of items or objects. But here, our items or objects, here we are considering students as our objects or items, okay? Which is equal to 7. So 7 is the total number of students to be seated. All right? Now, how many students do we want to, or how many 2 particular students, how many students do we want them to occupy or sit at the ends of the bench? How many are they? There are 2, right? So as a result of that, we say what? These 2 particular students, okay, is given by these 2 factorial. 2 factorial is the same as 2. Right? So therefore we can say that the required, we want to know the number of arrangements, right? So the required number of arrangements, of those 2 particular students to occupy the ends, of the bench, okay, is given by the formula. These 2 students, which is my 2 factorial, then multiplying n minus 2 all factorial. So I have 2 factorial, then times, what is n? N here is equal to 7. So I have 7 minus 2 all factorial. So I have 2 factorial times, what is 7 minus 2? I have it to be 5, then factorial, right? So by the help of the calculator, 2 factorial then times what? 5 factorial should give us 240. As simple as that. Viewers, this is the end to this trivial question. If the question had said this, if 2 particular students must not occupy the ends of the bench, now the formula for this, okay, will become what you already know, which is 2 factorial times n minus 2 all factorial, then minus the total number of objects, okay, the arrangement of the total number of objects, which is what? N factorial. This becomes the formula. So in other words, you have what? Your n factorial, then minus. But what is n? N here is what? 7. So as n 7 factorial, then minus the whole of this, and the whole of this, which is the same as this, has been calculated for. We have it to what? 240. And we know that 7 factorial minus 240 should give us 4800, 4800. So if 2 particular students must not occupy the ends, the number of arrangements required is what? 4800. But that's not what the question is saying. The question says if 2 particular students must sit or occupy both ends, the number of arrangements is given by 240. Viewers, this is the end to this trivial and important subtopic under permutations. I will meet you next time where we are going to talk about something very different, okay, under the same umbrella. I'll see you next time. Continue watching. Do not stop learning.